Hi, welcome to this video about what's new in the fourth quarter release from MSAB of 2019. So here's XAMN version 4.5. Let's open a new case. I'm going to choose this demo phone here, iPhone 10. We've got a number of extractions from this. Let's open all the artifacts. And something to point out straight away, we've removed the sort of panel on the side here to give you more real estate space. And we can have a look around. We're going to look at pictures on this occasion. We've got just over 4,000 pictures in here. Let's go to the gallery view, sort these by time. Let's see what images we've got. And here's one of my favorite GIFs for the fabulous Nicolas Cage. And you can see that that runs automatically in XAMN. We've got this great new filter option for matching similar pictures. So looking at pictures with a very similar dhash profile. If you don't know, we've been running the dhash algorithm in the background for most extractions since 8.0 started. And here's the new icon for show similar pictures in a new tab. So if I click this one, what's going to happen is XAMN is going to open up and it says, you know what, there are 4 of these. Here they've got 4 different file names. As you can see, they're all different things, but we're pretty sure they're the same, and they're matching on the dhash value filter here below. So you can see that's one size and this is a different size, but still the same concept. And again, so 4 files with similar images are all matched. And you can see that using the so similar pictures in a new tab button here. I also want to show you this really exciting breakthrough in terms of app database mapping. So let's go to the databases that we found on this case. And I'm going to spin these around and go to Z. So here we've got a new app, Zello. And you're probably already familiar with the SQLite viewer that we have available in Zello to show data and mapping, and you probably know that you can expand that into a brand new tab. So you've got full screen real estate to see the contents of this app. Now this is Zello. This is kind of like a push to talk calling system. So in effect, I think this is a call. Now if it wasn't decoded, what you can do now is use the tool here to manually map the content of this selected database to an artifact. So say this is an unmapped database from a unique local app that you're not familiar with. We can create a template for this. So I'm going to click on this button here to manually map that out, and again you can expand the screen there to help you. And let's have a look at what we've got here. Well, you know, it looks like we've got something called time. So let's well, we know Zello is a push to talk app, so let's define it as calls. And then we're going to click next, and then it'll ask you to try and map out the properties and format them. So let's have a look here. This is time. Right now that's ignored, but let's choose to do that as time. And XAMN will try and help you and say, okay, well, based on this format, these integers, I suspect that this is probably the one. And then we have a look at it. It says, well, the time would read out as the 23rd of February 2017. 3:15 in the afternoon. Yeah, that looks good. So let's choose that one, but there are other options available. So we're going to say that's seconds since 2001. Then we click next. I say, okay, well, based on that, then there's 13 calls, as you've defined it as an artifact. Introduce those and import them as exhibits into the case file. So there's 13 artifacts to be imported there, and XAMN will tell you that they will be displayed at the bottom of the list view when it's sorted by none. So we're going to click OK. Now let's go back to our case and say, okay, so what have we got here? We've got calls. Let's have a look at those. Now, here's all the calls registered in WhatsApp, but here are our 13 calls that we've now registered. And what's unique about them is that they've got this artifact here. The little person, human head, is an indicator that's user added data. So that's data that I've added and mapped into there. So that's a great new feature for app database mapping. One other thing to point out is apps in general, the new app filter for XAMN 4.5 and how it looks. Let's open all the artifacts and show you that. So the important thing to note is that apps used to be contained within the main categories list, but now it's been separated out essentially for ease of use and operation. But if I just show you that you'll see all of the apps now identified by their icons as a separate list here. And they can be used dynamically, so you can say, okay, I want to look at all the contacts, and I want to look at all the contacts in WhatsApp. So here are all the contacts listed in WhatsApp, a much more efficient way to use apps, I think you'll agree. Given the dominance and importance of apps in modern investigations on smartphones, I think this is definitely the way forward. A couple of other things to highlight while we're here. In SPOTLIGHT now you can import UFED files, UFDR files, along with call data records, and of course binaries. And one thing I did want to show you before we finish off, a couple of people have asked me, hey, I want to distribute XAMN with the XRY files now that XRY Reader and Viewer are no more. How do I do that? There's a button here, Save Subset or Save Filtered. And if you click on that button and choose All, you can actually just see that it's pre-included, include XAMN Viewer, but you can now create a case, give it a name, burn it to a location of your choice, and XAMN Viewer, the free application, will be included in that.